You saw it. Boom.
Donald Trump and his clearly very genius campaign advisors decided that the smart move to make after having the worst debate performance in history was to give an equally terrible speech in Tucson, Arizona. As we could see there, Donald Trump's strangeness, his unraveling, and really his dementing cognitive state all on display, as I don't even know what he was doing there. I think that's his lifting weights bit that he does during his speeches to get his crowd laughing. I don't even know. Donald Trump has clearly completely lost it. He is full of grievance and anger from getting absolutely humiliated on the national stage by Kamala Harris. And so now he is out of control, more so than ever, as he continues to decline cognitively. And I want to check out a moment from the speech where Donald Trump's cognitive decline was on complete display, completely forgetting where he was, and just a really frightening moment. In fact, but before we do that, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, it goes a long way in supporting this channel and means a lot to me. Now, before we get into Donald Trump's complete cognitive collapse, I want to play a bit of Kamala Harris's speech happening at the same time today to show the contrast of what's going on between these two candidates.
He wants to get rid of it, and as he said in the debate, he made clear he has no plan to replace it. In fact, you remember? Concept. You remember? He has, quote, concepts of a plan. Concepts of a plan. I mean, we're 54 days from this election. Concepts of a plan. Which means no actual plan.
It's crazy to me that in a debate in which Donald Trump accused falsely Haitian immigrants of eating cats and dogs in Ohio, that wasn't even the worst moment for him. Kamala Harris mocking Donald Trump's concept of a plan line, hearkening back to his 2 weeks until I have a health care plan. The health care plan will be out in 2 weeks. Donald Trump forever has had no plan or policy to address the needs of Americans. All he cares about is himself, his own problems, his own grievance, and he is more unfit than ever to be president. He was never fit to be president. We know that. We saw it, and it's one of the many reasons why we can never let him be reelected again. But yes, he is all about himself and all about grievance, which was incredibly clear in this clip right here.
The suburbs were safe. That's why when they say suburban women maybe don't like Trump, I think they're wrong. I think they love me. I do. I never had problems with women. I never had any problems.
I'm not sure which of those two things was a bigger lie, that suburban women support Donald Trump, that's a lie, or that he's never had problems with women. No, that's actually the biggest lie. I think Donald Trump has had plenty of problems, many of them legal. Yeah, we're not even going to touch his disgustingness, but just on display, the grievance and anger of Trump that really comes out in this moment that we're about to check out right here. But before we get to it, I think we should play a part of Trump's speech, which is incredibly ironic considering the cognitive collapse that we are about to check out from him. But let's take a look.
If I mispronounce one word, like I called mismanagement, I said the Bureau of Mismanagement, well, I was kidding. They won't say that. They'll say he's cognitively impaired.
Donald Trump says the media is unfairly accusing him of cognitive decline, that he's losing more than just a step. He's completely losing it all. But Donald, we're only saying that when we're using your words. You are the one who's making it incredibly clear that you have lost your mind in your actions and with your words. And that was so clear when Donald Trump had a complete cognitive meltdown, forgetting where he was in this clip right here.
So Pennsylvania, remember this when you have to go to vote. Okay, just remember this. 2,000% increase. This is a small...
Oh, man. Oh, man. No, Donald, you are not in Pennsylvania. You are in Arizona. And I've said this before. If Donald Trump was doing what Kamala Harris is doing right now, going from Georgia to North Carolina, I believe tomorrow she's going to Michigan, all over the place, you are barnstorming the swing states, and something slipped your mind, you said the wrong state, it would be understandable. But Donald Trump barely campaigns anymore. So what this is his just like complete lack of control over his own brain, his complete cognitive decline. And what it really shows me is that he's still thinking about Pennsylvania because he is still incredibly caught up in what was a disaster of a debate performance on Tuesday in Pennsylvania. He can't stop thinking about his failures. He can't stop thinking about himself. And that is the cognitive collapse that we are clearly witnessing, one that he continues to complain about right here.
Imitate Joe Biden not being able to find his way off the stage, which happens all the time. No, it happens all the time. I get decimated by the fake news media, and sometimes they say, look, he can't find his way off the stage either. You have these stages, they have like 4 or 5 stairs, usually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, is this a government-owned building? They have.
It was the media's fascination to cover President Biden's cognitive state, as they like to call it, when he was every single day incredibly successful as president, showing no signs that his aging was getting in the way of his success at the job. But Donald Trump is completely collapsing, and I feel like relatively, the media has completely failed to cover it, but we are finally starting to see the mainstream media begin to give attention to Donald Trump's cognitive decline, especially as he pushes radical and crazy conspiracies like this one right here.
Recording of 911 calls even show residents are reporting that the migrants are walking off with the town's geese. They take in the geese. You know where the geese are? In the park, in the lake. And even walking off with their pets. My dog's been taken. My dog's been stolen. This can only happen.
Considering the not-so-warm welcome that the "they're eating cats and dogs" line got at the debate, I don't know who in Donald Trump's campaign team is encouraging him to continue to say these things. Maybe there's a double agent, someone who really just wants to see him fail. It could be the only explanation for why he says and does so many of these things. Well, I guess besides the fact that he is crazy and unfit to even run for president, let alone be the president again. But he continues to say these lines that just off-put so many people. And I'm going to say it. Keep talking. We love it. Every time you speak, it always backfires. So run wild, Donald. Keep doing it. And keep saying things like this that backfire on you too.
He said, how great was my speech tonight? Did you see the size of that crowd? Oh, and by the way, her crowds are zero. Her crowd, she's got no crowds. They bus the people in. They pay buses to bring people. Nobody here rode in on a bus, I guarantee you that, unless you own it.
President Obama is still in his head. The little hands, suggestive of maybe more than just crowd size, or more is probably not the word I should use. I should use the word less is what Trump has. But we don't need to get into the specifics of what he was talking about. I think we know. But if Donald Trump is going to want to lie about Kamala Harris's crowd size, I think it only fitting that we cut over to Kamala Harris's rally today in North Carolina. That was just so spectacular.
People who saw him every day, his national security advisor, his defense secretary, his chief of staff, and his vice president, all of whom have warned America Donald Trump is not fit to be president of the United States. And should never occupy our nation's highest office again.
After spending almost 2 hours up on that debate stage with Donald Trump, I don't know who more qualified to make the assessment of his cognitive state than Kamala Harris, who summed it up perfectly. Unfit to be president. She saw it up close and personal. He's a petulant child. He's deranged. He's unraveling. And he is filled with anger and vengeance. That's not a leader. Kamala Harris is. And that's why we're going to continue to call out Donald Trump's lies every single day until the election. We got 54 days left to go. We're putting the pedal to the metal. We're not looking at the polls. We're looking forward and working hard. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button and leave a like on this video. And if you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. It really warms my heart to see y'all's support in the comments. It really means a lot to me. It is so encouraging as we continue to fight every single day. And until next time, I'll see you soon.